We on?
We're on.
We're on? Hi, I'm Dr. Nick, Santa Barbara Family Chiropractic, but we're not in the office today. Today we're at our house, but not our house for very much longer because we're moving. And that's why we decided to do a Periscope on how to lift and move stuff safely. Okay, so the thing about moving is that you got to do lots of reps. Ben is trying to turn it off. Lots of reps, and some of it's heavy and some of it's awkward and heavy. So we talked about posture on our last video. Posture is key because when you're moving something, you want to make sure your spine is not moving. Okay, so you want to think of your spine. Generally, healthy spinal movements is all or none. So here's an example of no spinal movement. It's a squat. You'll notice my spine stays completely in one plane with my pelvis there. We're not rounding or changing the angle of any one joint. Okay, so a squat is a really good example of keeping your spine nice and straight, and that's what you want to do when you lift boxes, either a squat or a deadlift type motion. And that's why we're big fans of CrossFit or functional fitness, because they teach you how to use your body safely. So these two boxes are books. So we'd love it if everything was this high because it's easy. You can just bend over at the spine, bring the load close to your body, and then just pick that on up. Keep it close to your body, abs stay nice and tight, okay? So the weight belt for your spine, click, click, is your abs. Okay, so you're gonna just lock that in, tighten that in. Ben's excited about that. Core strength is being able to keep your spine nice and straight. You do that through tight abs, okay? So if this is on the ground, guys, then again, we want to be able to keep the spine nice and straight. You can see from the side, and we're going to bring it close to the body and bring that on up. Okay, we could also do more of a deadlift where the spine is still nice and straight. I'm hinging at the hips, and then we're going to pick that up like that. Both of those are acceptable and okay for your spine health. What we wouldn't want to do is one of these fishing pole things. Whenever we have load on our spine, gravity being a load, but this is amplified because of weight, we've got to be good posture. Okay? All kinds of action here. Thank you, Bennett. Sound effects on cue. Here's another really good example. We had talked about this right before we jumped on this, and that was, is it worth it? Okay, because these, I didn't realize both of these are books. This amount of books I can handle, okay? This amount of books I can handle, but it's more like a max rep, and is it worth it on a morning where I'm not warmed up? Okay, so that's another reason, taking good care of your spine and your health and working out on a regular basis. I know what my body can do. I can get up here and lift this, but it's outside of what would be risk-reward ratio.
So how would you figure that out? Let's say you're in a situation where you're moving and... So
that's a great question. One comes from doing lots of lifting. So that's again why functional fitness and working out on a regular basis so you know what you can do. But really it's like, you're going to pull on it and I'm going to think, if I get under it, like, okay, it's coming up, but maybe that's more than I think is worth it. That's just a case-by-case scenario. Can you keep your spine straight while lifting? Okay, so if you start to feel any sort of give, starts to round, we don't want to do that. Okay, so all books here, we would want to either get a partner to help out or fill it with, half blankets, half books, like that.
You have a ruthless wife.
Well, the issue is, I know that I use my body for my work, and so I'm not going to gamble on something like this when I know that I know I can do it, but is it being warmed up would be more ideal. The other last thing I wanted to show was awkward positions. So some stuff is well within your grasp weight-wise, but it's awkward, such as a couch or weird things like that. And flexibility is always something important so that you can keep the spine nice and straight. That's why we practice like Olympic lifts, like the snatch or the clean. You can see my spine is still nice and straight. If you couldn't do that, you'd want to make sure your abs are really tight. This isn't really heavy. I know what I can do again because I work out very often, and that helps.
But you can also throw your back out picking up a pencil, so it doesn't matter how heavy it is.
That's true. So if your spine is healthier, that's not going to happen. But yeah, you want to make sure that your abs are tight. If you have to get into you can't really get a tug on something. It's a couch, it's a rug, something heavy, something awkward. You want to at least make sure that this is tight, number one. Okay. Then keeping your spine straight as best to your ability, number two. And then knowing your limitations, because is it worth it?
Okay. Awesome.
Hope that helped, guys.
Anyone have any questions? Real quick? Before we jump off?
We're going to get a lot of practice this week.
Yes, we are.
It's also a good idea to get tuned up before the move, so see your chiropractor, and tuned up after the move too, because
That's right.
even good form can, with that many reps, can be tough.
All right, cool. Have a great day, guys.